Alright, so in this video, I'll be going over factors. First, we'll discuss about what factors are, then I'll compare prime and composite numbers, and then talk a little bit about common factors, and lastly, we will go over the greatest common factor, also known as the GCF. So let's first discuss what is a factor. Well, a factor is a number that divides exactly into another number. In other words, to factor a number, it means that we need to break it up into other numbers that can be actually multiplied together to get the original number. So what I'm trying to say is we basically can find the multiples of that number to get the factors of that specific number. So now let's go into a specific example. The example says, what are the factors of 6? So to figure out the factors of 6, we can find the multiples. That is, we can find numbers that multiply together that give us 6. The most generic and the simple one is 1 and 6, or 6 and 1. So 1 and the number itself are always going to be the factors for no matter what type of number you're dealing with. Either it's prime or it's composite. So we basically ask ourselves what other numbers can be multiplied to give us 6. So we already have 1 and 6, and then the other ones are 2 multiplied with 3 give us 6. Therefore, the factors of 6 are 1, 2, 3, and 6. So now let's go into prime number. So a prime number has only 2 factors, 1 and itself. So a prime number is a number that cannot be multiplied by any whole number except 1 and itself. So for instance, 2, 3, 5 are prime numbers because they only have 2 factors, 1 and itself. So if you look into the number 5, you can't find any 2 numbers that multiply together to give you 5. It's only 5 and 1. The same holds with number 7. 7 is a prime number because you cannot multiply any whole numbers except 1 and 7 to give you 7. So that is a prime number. Now, what is a composite number? Well, a composite number is the opposite of a prime number. A composite number has more than 2 factors. It's a number that can be multiplied by any whole number. So for instance, 8. Well, the factors of 8, 1 and 8 are the factors, and also 2 times 4 gives us 8. So 2 and 4 are the factors of 8. So the factors are 1, 2, 4, and 8. So therefore, it's a composite number, not a prime number. Okay, now let's go into common factors. Well, what are common factors? The word common itself gives you the definition of common factors. So suppose you're given a question where you're told to find the factors of 2 specific numbers. Then what are the common factors? Well, you basically make the list of those specific 2 numbers, and then you see which one do they have in common, which ones are the same factors in both of those numbers, and those are known as the common factors. So basically, like I have on this slide, when we find the factors that are the same for 2 numbers, we find the common factors. When we find the factors of 2 or more numbers, and then some factors are the same, in other words common, then they are the common factors. So that is common factors. Now let's look into an example that'll help us out. So we have to find the factors of 12 and we have to find the factors of 30. Well, this is easy. So to find the factors of 12, we want to find numbers that multiply together give us 12. We have 1 and 12. We have 2 times 6 gives us 12, and we have 3 times 4 gives us 12. So therefore the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now let's go into 30. So to find the factors of 30, we want to find numbers that multiply together to give us 30. So 1 times 30 gives us 30, 2 times 15 gives us 30, 3 times 10 gives us 30, and 5 times 6 gives us 30. So the factors of 30 are 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, 15, and 30. So once we've made the list of the factors of the specific two numbers, our next goal is, or next step, is to find the ones they both share, they both have in common. So factors of 12, let's see, we have 1. And also for 30, we have 1 right here. So that is a common factor. 1 is a common factor. Let's see 2. Well, factor of 12 is 2, and also for 30 it's 2, so that's another common factor. 3 is for 30, and so it's for 12 as well. So far the common factors for 12 and 30 are 1, 2, and 3. 4 is a factor for 12. Is it a factor of 30? No, it's not on our list. So 4 is not a common factor. Let's say 5. 5 is a factor for 30, but it's not in our list for the factors of 12. So 5 is not a common factor. 6. Yes, 6 is a factor of 12, and also it's a factor of 30, so 6 is 1. 12, well, 12 is only for the factor of 12, not for 30. And the same holds for 10. 10 is the only factor for 30. 15 is the only factor for 30, and 30 is the only factor for 30. So our common factors are 1, 2, 3, and 6. These are our common factors. Okay, so now let's go into the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor, also known as a GCF, well, it's simply the largest of the common factors. So like we had in our previous example, the factors of 12 were 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And the factors of 30 were 1, 2, 3, 6, 10, 5, 30, and 15. And in the purple shaded area in this Venn diagram are the common factors. These 12 and 4 and these 4 right here, 30, 10, 5, 15, are not in common. So the purple area shaded is known as the common factors of 12 and 30. So the GCF, greatest common factor, is the largest of the common factors. So the biggest number from the common factors. Well, we know 1, that's the least, that's the smallest. So the largest is 6 because 2 and 3 are in the middle. So the largest common factor is 6. So the greatest common factor of 12 and 30 is 6. Alright, so this was how to find the common factors and the greatest common factors. I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment below, and like this video. Thank you for watching.